Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our 9 a.m. freestyle flow today. So it's finishing the Easter weekend. So we're gonna play a little later this week just to get a little extra sleep and honor our bodies. This morning, when we play on our mats, all we're simply gonna try to find is a little more space for ourselves. Open our hearts. Release any extra tension that's no longer serving us. So as we all start to arrive and settle in on our mat, I'm going to suggest starting in child's pose today. If you want to start in seated or on your back, please feel free. Remember, all my words as I share my practice with you today are simply that, just suggestions. I want you to honor your practice, your four corners, and the whispers in your body. So let's arrive on our mat and get prepared to find some space, to open our heart, and to relieve tension. Touching the big toes together, knees can be as wide as the mat, or you can draw them together. Extend the arms out in front, and start to settle the forehead deep onto the mat. Maybe even want to just roll it side to side. And as you settle here, bring all your awareness to your breath. Let's just simply start today by enjoying each inhalation and each exhalation. Not trying to change our breath in any way. Simply just watching it draw in, feeling it draw in, and allowing it to exhale completely before rushing into the next breath. We've all got time. Take another minute here, just savoring one breath at a time. And as you take this time, maybe start to notice where that breath gets stuck. Where can you exhale and release a little more tension? Where can you soften into the flow of every breath? Take one more big breath in here. Maybe just extend the arms farther out. Spread the fingers a little bit wider. And find a deeper connection between the fingertips and the knuckles. Feel the palm lift slightly. Inhale the forearms up and away from the mat. And as you exhale, keep that connection, but soften that space between your shoulders and ears. Take one more full breath in here. Maybe even push into the mat, press it away. And as you exhale, feel the sit bones drop deeper into your heels. Keep that length through the back body as you draw your next breath in. And as you exhale, walk the hands all the way over towards the left. Inhale, draw your hips back towards the right. And as you settle into your breath here, just allow that space to expand through the side body. Open that space up with each inhalation. Soften it with your exhale. One more full breath in this way. Let's all patiently exhale together. And when we're ready to draw that next breath in, walk the hands back to center. Find that extra length, and as you exhale, walk the hands over towards the right. As you settle on this side, inhale the hips back to the left. Maybe you hold on to that opposite wrist. But start to enjoy that same opening through the left side body. Wait for that full exhalation to be released. And on the inhale, we'll walk the hands back to center. Inhale, rise to all four, lining the shoulders over the fingertips. Place the knees underneath the hips and curl all 10 toes under. Moving into a thread the needle. Inhale, sweep right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, thread that right arm behind the left. Inhale, press into your left hand. Sweep the fingertips up. Let's start to move with our breath. One more full breath in this way. And this time on your exhalation, let yourself surrender here. Drop into that right shoulder. Draw the hips back towards the right, and maybe even take that left arm up towards the ceiling or behind the back. Take one more full breath in here. Draw in a full breath from the belly all the way to the top of the rib cage. And as you exhale, release the twist. Plant the left hand to the mat. Rise up to all fours. Cat-cow. Drop the belly to the mat on the inhale. Lift the chest forward. Press the bones in the bum back. Exhale, tuck the chin. Hollow the belly round the back. 2 more full breaths in that way. Just let yourself move with your breath. Ripple through your spine. When you come back to a nice neutral spine, thread the needle on the left side. Inhale, sweep left fingertips up towards the ceiling, let the gaze follow. Exhale, thread the left arm behind the right, reaching all the way over to that right side of the room as you draw the hips back to the left. Inhale, press into the right hand, sweep left fingertips up, maybe find a little more space. Exhale. One more full breath in this way. And on this exhalation, let's all surrender onto that left shoulder. Let the left temple get heavy. And if you added that extra twist on the other side, sweep right fingertips towards the ceiling. Let them fall behind the back. Take a full breath in from the belly to the rib cage. And patiently wait as you exhale it. Then release the twist. Plant the right hand to the mat. Inhale, rise up to all fours. 3 cat-cows. Maybe take a different variation. Maybe move the hips side to side. Circle the shoulders. Start to notice what kind of motion your body is craving. Moving into that inner world. Honoring all those low whispers. Then just walk the hands forward so we can settle all the way down to the chest. Extend that right arm out towards the right. Left fingertips come under your left shoulder and roll open to the left. You can stack your left foot on your right, or you can take that left foot behind the back. But starting to broaden across the chest. Release the tension in the shoulder. Enjoy one more full breath. And on the exhalation, when we roll back to the belly, extending the left arm out to the left, right fingertips underneath the right shoulder, roll open to the right. Stack right foot on right, or take that right foot all the way behind the back. Exhale, let the left temple get heavy in the mat, no tension in the neck. Full length in the breath. Soft release across the chest and through the shoulder. And on the exhalation, when we return back to our belly, taking that child's pose position, touch the big toes, knees wide, hands under the shoulders, press all the way back to your child's pose. Find a little more length through the back body. And on the inhale, unroll the vertebrae one at a time. Rise all the way up till the shoulders pass the fingertips, and then lower all the way to your belly. Exhale, press all the way back. Inhale, unroll the vertebrae, rise back up. Exhale and lower. Take a full breath in before you exhale and press yourself back. Continue in this way. 2 more full breath cycles. Maybe slow your breath down. Settle at the end of your exhale. Notice that length. Inhale, rise a little taller. And on your next inhalation, when you rise up, just bring the knees back underneath the hips. Reset that tabletop position. Curl all 10 toes under. And let's add a little heat in the core. Soften the bend in the elbows. Just bring the knees an inch off your mat. Keep that space between the shoulders and ears soft. And then on the next exhalation, draw the navel into the spine. Lift the hips all the way back for your first downward dog. Bicycle the legs out. Bend the right knee, drop the left heel, and then exaggerate the same movement on the other side. Start to drop your gaze between your feet. Shake your head, no tension in your neck. And then when you're ready, line up the hands and feet in the same line. Hands are shoulder width. Feet draw right behind the hands. And as you inhale, come high on all 10 toes. Exhale, let the chest sink towards the thighs. 2 more full breaths in here. Spread the fingers wider. Keep the chest drawing towards the thighs as you rise up on your toes. And let yourself soften and sink into that space on the exhale. 1 more big, beautiful breath here. And then twisting our downward dog. Let's take the left hand to the center. Reach the right hand, nice and strong, lots of balance for that outside of that left thigh. Keep pressing into the left hand. Draw the chest closer to the thigh. Soften the bend in the knees if you need. Notice if you can still take a full exhalation here. And then on the inhalation, switch hands. Right hand comes to center. Left hand sweeps back for the right thigh or the shin, whatever is accessible to you. Straighten through that right arm. Let the hips shift up and back. And as you exhale, let yourself draw a little bit closer to your thighs. Notice the length in your breath. And then as you extend that left arm forward, reset the hand, shoulder width distance. Slowly start to bend the knees. With control, just hover an inch over the mat once again as you lengthen that space between shoulders and ears. And let the knees settle all the way to the mat. Moving into our bird dog. Extend the right arm forward and add the left leg. Really spread through the fingers, turn the thumbs up, soften the space between the shoulders and the ears. Settle here, finding that length from fingertips to toes. If you want a little bit more, bend the left knee. Reach the right hand back for those left toes. And as you inhale, press the shin towards the back of the room. Draw the heart forward. Lengthen your breath here. On the exhalation, when you release the bind, keep the left leg lifted. Plant the right hand. Make sure the right toes are curled under. Moving into our 3-legged downward dog. Inhale, lift that right knee from the mat. Sweep that left heel high. Draw the chest towards the thigh. Exhale, left knee comes to the nose. Left hand plants between the hands. Right knee settles. On the inhalation, sweep the fingertips up towards the ceiling in your monkey lunge. Notice if you've dropped into your lower back, draw the navel in. Inhale the length through the torso. And as you exhale, straighten the left leg. Half splits, fingertips to the mat. Hips draw to the back, chest lifts on the inhale. Exhale and fold. Inhale, glide forward, sweep fingertips up, rise a little bit higher in your lunge. Exhale, draw the hips back. 2 more full breaths in this way. This time, when you sweep the fingertips up, move into a gentle twist. Drop that right hand to the mat, left fingertips to the sky. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, twist from the belly, but try not to drop that left arm behind you. Keep the shoulders stacked in that T position. And on the next exhalation, see if you can drop that right hip a little bit closer to the mat. Keep that engagement in the core. Keep that right knee planted. And we're just going to come into a gentle twist by rising up, keeping the left fingertips sweeping for the back, right fingertips forward. If you want a little bit more, drop that left hand all the way to the back of the thigh, right fingertips to the sky. Notice if you're in your back body, can you draw the navel in? Can you lift and lengthen and actually find more length through that right side body as you inhale? 1 more full breath into this space. And on the exhalation, windmill the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Curl the back right toes under and rise all the way up. Crescent lunge, lifting that right knee from the mat. Exhale the shoulders away from the ears. And on the next exhalation, bring all 10 fingertips to the mat. Pause here and balance. Keep that space between your chest and the thigh. Keep that length through the spine and then just bounce off those back right toes. Lift the right heel to the sky for your warrior 3. Balance on your fingertips, extend your hands out, or reach the hands all the way for the back of the mat. But as you settle into your breath here, drop left fingertips to the top corner of your mat. Rolling into our half moon, let the right hip roll on top of the left. Right fingertips towards the ceiling. Long breath as you press through the sole of that right foot. Reach through those fingertips and find more length. On your exhalation, warrior two, soften the bend in the left knee. Let the right foot slowly land to the back of your mat. Bring the heart and the belly center over the pelvis. Lighten through the toes. Soften the shoulders from the ears. And on your exhalation, reverse your warrior. Right arm falls behind the back. Left fingertips towards the ceiling. Let that left sit bone sink towards the mat. And as you keep that depth, exhale, windmill left arm inside left thigh. Find a gentle resistance on your inhale and sweep right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Maybe you take the fingertips all the way to the front of your mat as you roll your rib cage open and expand your breath here. On the exhalation, we're gonna roll into revolve side angle by taking that right heel to the sky. Right elbow to the outside of that left thigh. Maybe you wanna bring those toes a little bit closer as you press the palms together. Inhale the chest from the thigh. Exhale, twist from the belly. Take one more full breath in here. And then moving into our twisted half moon, plant the right fingertips in front of the left toes. Inhale, sweep right heel high to the sky. Settle your balance here as you level your pelvis. Press through the sole of the right foot. Inhale, reach to the crown. Settle your length here. Dropping that right foot to the back of the mat for our crescent lunge. Let the right toes land. Sweep fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale. Plant your hands to your mat. Step your left foot back to your right as you inhale into your high plank position. Float through your vinyasa by lowering halfway chaturanga. Point the toes. Draw the chest forward and up, upward dog. Exhale, flip the toes. Lift the sit bones up and back, downward dog. Breathe here. 3 full breaths. And as you settle into the rhythm of your breath, exhale, bend the knees. Slowly lower the toes, knees back to the mat. Setting up your all fours position. Use your next inhalation to extend the left fingertips forward and add that right leg. Find that same length in your bird dog by turning the left thumb to the ceiling. Flexing the right ankle, pointing the toes down. And as you find that length through the back body, bend the right knee if you did so on the other side. Find that bind. Inhale, lift the chest. Press the shin towards the back wall. Allow for more length, more space. On the exhalation, when you release that bind, keep the right heel lifted, plant the left hand. Curl the left toes under, and on your exhalation, lift the knee from the mat. Sweep right heel high to the sky. Finding a little more length. Bend the right knee. Turn the hips open towards the right. And on the exhalation, draw the knee to the nose, hover. Plant the right foot between the hands. Let the left knee settle to the mat. And as you inhale, sweep fingertips up towards the ceiling. Settling into your monkey lunge. Draw your navel in. Find more length through the left side body. And on the exhalation, draw the hips back, planting the hands, flexing the left foot. Inhale, sweep forward, rise up, find a little more length. Exhale, draw the hips back. Fold and surrender on your exhale. One more full breath in this way. And on the next inhalation, when you lunge forward, sweep the fingertips up. Open up into a gentle twist. Right fingertips towards the back of your mat, left fingertips forward. Keep pulling that right hip in, lengthening through the torso. And if you want a little bit more, drop that right hand towards that back left thigh. Left fingertips towards the ceiling. One more full breath in here. And on the exhalation, when you sweep all 10 fingertips to the ceiling, Lift that left knee away from the mat. Exhale, sink back into your crescent lunge. On the exhalation, all 10 fingertips come to the mat. Shifting the weight forward onto that right foot. Sweep left heel high to the sky. Pausing with your breath here. Setting up your balance. Soften the bend in the right knee. Sweep fingertips out towards the side. Maybe forward, maybe all the way back. Play with your variation. And use your next exhalation to plant right fingertips towards right corner. Roll open into your half moon, letting that left hip stack on the right. Sweeping left fingertips towards the ceiling. Pause here. Flex that left foot. Reach the crown for the front of your mat. Press the sole of your foot to the back of the mat. Softening the bend in that right knee so that we can slowly and with control rise into a warrior two. Let that left foot land to the back of the mat. Let the right sit bone sink. And as you drop the shoulders away from the ears, lighten the toes. Inhale, more length through all 10 fingertips. Exhale, sink into that space, reversing your warrior, letting the right fingertips come to the ceiling. Left hand maybe reaches for the back of that thigh. But as you sink into this space, hug that right knee to the pinky toe. Let the sit bone sink. And on the exhalation, windmill the right arm inside the right thigh. Left fingertips towards the ceiling or maybe overhead. As you settle into your side angle posture, roll the ribcage open. Exhale, let the right sit bone sink. And on the exhalation, rolling into our revolve side angle, lift the left heel up to the sky. Let the left elbow come just outside that right thigh. And as the palms touch, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, twist from the belly. Keep pressing through that back left ankle. Maybe find more space between the shoulders and the ears. Are you forcing into that twist? Or can you inhale more length and then just exhale and surrender into whatever twist is there? Moving into our revolve half moon. Plant left fingertips in front of right toes. Bounce off those back left toes, sweeping that heel to the sky. And extend the right fingertips either up towards the ceiling or maybe just onto that back body. Find more length. Inhale, level the pelvis. And on the exhalation, with control, let the left toe settle back to the back of the mat. Rise up into your twisted crescent lunge. And on the inhalation, sweep all 10 fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, all 10 fingertips come to the mat. Right foot steps back to left. Inhale into your high plank position. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, tops of feet press. Chest draws forward and up. Cobra, upward dog. Exhale, flip your toes. Lift your sit bones up and back. Full exhalation. Downward dog. Spread the fingers a little bit wider. Soften the space between the shoulders and the ears. As you inhale the navel in towards the spine and shift the sit bones to where the back wall and the roof meet. One more full breath here. And then soften the bend in your knees so you can walk your hands to the back of your mat. When you arrive there, settle into a nice forward fold. Inhale, lift your chest halfway and lengthen. Exhale and fold. One more full breath in this way. On the inhalation, when you lift the chest halfway, heel toe the feet a little bit wider, turning the toes out. Dropping into our yogi squat malasana, let the sit bones sink to the mat. Allow the chest to lift, the hands to arrive at heart center. And as you press the palms together, gently draw the thighs away. Sink into your breath here. Settle into your own space. And as you reset the rhythm in your breath, let the hands plant to the mat. Come high on all 10 toes. Playing with a little bit of an arm balance today. Let's squeeze the inner thighs into the back of the arms. Keep the gaze far forward to the front of your mat and just shift your weight forward. Stay balanced on all 10 toes. If you want to take one set of toes off and just play, maybe then switch sides to the other side. And if crow posture is for you, keep the gaze to the front of the mat. Keep the breath soft. And as you inhale and draw the navel in, just feel yourself float up and away from the mat. Settle here with your breath. Remember, you can stay on the toes. You can stay in your malasana. Wherever the variation is for you, take one more full breath in. Then let the heels come back to the mat. Lift the sit bones up towards the ceiling and heel toe the feet back together. Inhale, lift your chest halfway and lengthen. Exhale, fold and surrender all the way. Inhale to rise all the way up. Sweep the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Palms touch. Gaze moves up. Stay nice and tall. Exhale, hands through heart center. Pause here in Samasthiti. Let the shoulders soften. Let the big toes touch. And as the ankles settle, lift up through all 10 toes. Spreading them nice and wide. Soften the bend in your knees and get a little bit taller with your next inhalation. Moving into tree posture, lift the right heel away from the mat and turn that right knee out towards the right. Notice that the gaze is still soft to the top of your mat. And you have the option to just let the heel settle onto the ankle, the calf, or maybe you draw it all the way into your inner thigh for your tree posture. Choose to keep the hands at heart center or play with variations today. Opening our heart, we can take our arms up. We can even take the arms behind the back, interlace the fingers, and pull the hands down towards the back of the mat as we lift the heart up. Breathe here. And on the exhalation, let that right ankle cross over the left knee. Release, interlace the fingers. And as the hands return to heart center, let yourself sink into that space. When we settle into our depth, moving into eagle posture, let the right thigh cross all the way over the left. Balance on those right toes. Maybe wrap the toes around the ankle if that's for you. And on the inhalation, as you sweep the arms up at shoulder height, crossing the right arm over top of the left. Bend the elbows, turn the palms out, and let the hands draw together. Inhale, lift your elbows. Exhale, sink your sit bones. Take one more full breath in this space. And on the exhalation, when you completely unwind, sweep right heel high to the sky. Let all 10 fingertips come to the mat. Single leg forward fold. Pause here. Maybe you hold the ankle. Maybe you balance on blocks. And on the next exhalation, let the right toes meet the left. Lift the chest halfway and lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way, let it all the way out. Inhale to lift the chest halfway. Heel toe the feet hip width distance or a little wider once again. Turn the toes out. Let the sit bones sink, lift the chest. Malasana or yogi squat. Let's settle back in here. Maybe you just choose to find a little more space. Maybe you place a block under your sit bones and allow yourself to start to settle into that depth. And if you want to play with that crow posture once again, spread the fingers nice and wide. Keep the gaze to the top of your mat. Inhale high on all 10 toes. And as you squeeze the inner thighs into the back of the arms, draw the navel in. Feel yourself float. Keep the gaze to the front of the mat. Maybe just one set of toes come off, maybe both. But as you draw the navel in, squeeze the inner thighs into the back of the arms. Trust your balance. Trust your breath. Play with your own space. When you're ready, letting yourself drop back into that yogi squat. Lifting those hips high to the sky. Heel toeing the feet back together. Use your next breath in to lift the chest halfway, lengthen through the spine. And on your exhalation, surrender all the way over your thighs. On the inhalation, rise all the way up, sweep the fingertips up towards the ceiling, palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Reset your Samasthiti, equal balance. Big toes together, ankles gently apart. And as you inhale and get a little bit taller, exhale, soften the bend in your knees, soften the shoulders from the ears. On your next inhalation, lift the left heel away from the mat, turning that left knee out towards the left. Your heel can stay settled onto the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh. Try to find the same balance you chose on the other side as you soften your gaze to the front of your mat. Playing with a different variation. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe you take your arms behind your back and reverse namaskar, pressing the palms together. Hold opposite elbows, or maybe just hold opposite wrists. But notice where the breath is gone. The length. Have you made more space? And on that exhalation, releasing any bind in the arms, letting the hands return to heart center and the left ankle cross over the right knee. Let the sit bones sink towards the mat. When you find your depth, cross the left thigh over the right, preparing for eagle posture, balance on the toes. Wrap that left ankle around. And on the inhalation, sweep the arms up at shoulder height. Crossing left arm over top of right. Bend the elbows, turn the palms out as you draw the hands together. Inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, sink the sit bones. Take one more full breath in here. And enjoy the release as you exhale. Let go all tension, unwind. Sweep left heel high to the sky. 10 fingers to the mat. Fold up and over that right thigh. Let the entire breath out. Balance on blocks. Hold that opposite ankle, but use your next exhalation to let the left toes meet the right. Inhale, lift your chest and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Nice audible exhale. Soften the bend in the knees so you can walk the hands forward, arriving into a high plank position. As we settle here, soften the bend in the elbows. Draw the navel in. Take one more full breath to simply feel like you're floating. And on that exhalation, let the belly lower all the way to the mat, letting the elbows hug the rib cage. When you settle onto your belly, point the toes, reach the arms behind the back and interlace the fingers. Locust. Inhale, peel the chest from the mat, tuck the chin, reach the hands back for the ankles. If you want to add the toes, feel free. Notice if you're making the same length through the front and the back body. If you're keeping that same length in your breath. And on the exhalation, when you release, just stack the hands, let the forehead rest on the hands, shake the hips out. Preparing for bow posture, bend the knees. If this isn't for you, just take one leg at a time. Otherwise, reach back for both ankles. Tuck the chin. Let that entire breath out. And as you flex your ankles, flare your toes. Inhale, peel the chest and the thighs away from the mat. Exhale, tuck the chin. Soften that space between the molars. With each inhalation, resist the shins into the hands. Allow the chest to peel from the mat. Are you resisting? Or are you making more space? Soften into that space. And then inhale. Lengthen, exhale, new space. One more full breath in this way. And on the exhalation, when you release the posture, crawl 10 toes under. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale into your high plank position. Exhale, downward dog. Reset your foundation, line up your hands and your feet. Soften the gaze. Find your breath here. And on the inhalation, let's step our big toes together. Inhale that right heel high to the sky, bend the knee, turn the hips open towards the right, and as you stack the right hip on the left, draw the knee to the right elbow, hover and hollow. Inhale, sweep up, open up, find a little more space. Exhale, knee to nose. Take your time to hollow the belly, hover and round. Inhale, rise up. Let that right heel get heavy towards that left. And on the exhalation, right knee comes to left elbow this time. Pause here. Fall in triangle. Extend the right foot out towards the left. Let the left heel drop towards the mat. Keep your shoulders stacked over your wrist. And as you sweep your hips up, let the left arm fall overhead. Find a space where you can still take a full breath in. And on the exhalation, rolling back to your high plank position. Let that right shin just land behind both wrists. Remember, if this is any pain on your knee, settle into figure 4 on your back body with your right ankle over your left knee. We're going to stay nice and tall in our pigeon pose today, balancing on all 10 fingers. Lifting the heart and finding more length up and out of the pelvis. Adding a little extra stretch to our IT band, finding a little more space in our hips. I want you to use your next inhalation to curl the left toes under. To lift your hips up and back and straighten the right leg to the best of your ability. Exhale, sink back into that space, lift your chest, maybe even look up. Lift the hips up and back, find that length. Exhale and release. One more time. Curl all toes under on that left foot. Lift the hips up and back, find that length. Exhale, let's surrender this time. Point the left toes, top of the foot presses, and slowly unroll, one vertebrae at a time, settling into your space. Notice the space between your molars, the rhythm in your breath. And on the inhalation, when we walk our hands back towards that right shin, I just want you to let your right sit bone sink to the mat, bend that back left knee, sweeping that left foot forward to the front of your mat. The sole of the right foot will end up inside the left thigh. Left fingertips behind the back, tilt the pelvis forward, and on your inhale, sweep right fingertips towards the ceiling. On your exhalation, fold up and over the left thigh, reaching for the outside of the foot or the shin. Let the forehead surrender to the knee as you draw that left arm inside. Janya Shavasana, simply meaning head to knee pose. No force, no pull. Take one more full breath in this space. And on the inhalation, when you rise up to a seated position, half wild thing, right hand behind the back, left fingertips towards the ceiling. On the inhalation, lift the hips, lengthen, press the hips forward, let the left arm drop overhead, let the gaze follow. Notice if you can still draw a full breath in from the toes to the hip to the heart. And on the exhalation, when the sit bones return to the mat, crisscross your legs so you can roll to your hands and your knees, stepping your feet back to a high plank position. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, draw the chest forward and up. Exhale, flip the toes, lift the sit bones up and back, downward dog. Reset your foundations. Settle back into your breath. And on the inhalation, when you step the big toes together, this time sweep left heel high to the sky. Bend the knee, turn the hips open to the left. Find that even weight in both hands, keeping the shoulders square. And on the exhalation, draw that left knee to left elbow, hover and hollow. Inhale, sweep left foot up. Bend the knee, open the hips, settle into your breath. Exhale, left knee to nose, hover and hollow. Inhale, sweep up, more length, let that left heel get heavy. Enjoy the opening. And then exhale, left knee, right elbow, pause here. Come high on those back right toes, fall in triangle, extend the left foot out towards the right. Land on the pinky toe side of the foot. And as you allow that right heel to drop down to the mat, turn the hips up towards the ceiling. Lift the hips up. Breathe in more space. Remember, our original intention was just to make space, release tension, enjoy your own space. And on the exhalation, when you roll back, right hand touches the mat, left shin comes behind both wrists, right thigh settles to the mat. Stay high on all 10 fingertips. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, lift the heart up, make space again, and breathe into it. Make sure those back right toes are curled under. Maybe you even have block under your fingertips here for a little more space. And on the next exhalation, we're just going to lift our hips up and back and try to straighten that front left leg. And then drop back into that space, lifting the heart. Exhale, hips draw up and back. Inhale, length. Exhale, surrender back into your space. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, draw the hips up and back. One more time, 2 full breath cycles to complete. And when you settle back in, lift the heart, keep that length, and unroll one vertebrae at a time to find your depth in your pigeon pose. Remember, there should be no pain at all here. If there is, you have lots of options. You can flip on your back with that left ankle over your right knee. You can take that deer posture where the left shin is parallel to the front and the right shin is parallel to the back. Find that place where you can completely surrender into your breath, where you can make your own space, where you can release tension, not add it. And on the next inhalation, when we walk the hands back towards that left shin, letting that left sit bone sink, sweeping that right leg forward to the front of the mat. Place the sole of that left foot inside the right thigh. Use your fingertips behind the back. Tilt the pelvis forward. Flex the right ankle, flare the toes up towards the ceiling. And on your inhalation, sweep left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Keeping that length up and out of the pelvis. Exhale, turn towards your right thigh and fold up and over it. Reach for the outside of your foot or your shin. And then allow the right arm to draw inside. The forehead to surrender to the knee. No force, no pull. Soften that space between your shoulders and ears. Find more space between your molars. And settle into that next exhalation. When you're ready to draw your next breath in, inhale, rise to a seated position. Plant left hand behind the back, right fingertips to the sky, half wild thing. Inhale, lift your hips. Let the right arm fall overhead, let the gaze follow. Find a place where you can draw that breath in, lift those hips, expand the heart, and exhale. One more full breath in here. And on the exhalation, when the sit bones come back to the mat, and you crisscross the legs, just settle here. Let the arms soften onto the thighs. Let the gaze soften to the front of your mat. Let yourself notice the beating of your heart, the rhythm of your breath. And then press the soles of the feet together. Let yourself hinge forward into that space. Let the forehead yield to gravity. And when you settle here, just let the chin move side to side, releasing any tension. And as you inhale, rise up to a seated position, extend the legs out in front, use the hands behind the back. Once again, tilt the pelvis forward. Inhale, sweep fingertips up. Feel like you can almost lift out of your pelvis. And with that length, hinge at your hips and fold forward. Reach for the outsides of the shins, maybe just the mat, or maybe you reach the soles of the feet. When you arrive in your space, use your next inhale to lift the chest once again. And then exhale and fold back into any new space. Let the head drop in line with the spine. Let yourself soften here with your breath. And on the inhalation, when you rise to a seated position, I'm just going to turn to face you. I want you to pull that right knee in towards the chest and cross it up and over the left. Lean towards the left so you can bring that left heel just to the outside of the right hip. Make enough space so both sit bones evenly ground onto the mat. And on your inhalation, sweep left fingertips towards the ceiling. As you exhale, twist towards the right, letting that left arm fall on the outside of the thigh, or just simply hug the knee. But with every breath in, get a little bit taller. And with every exhalation, just allow more weight onto that right sit bone and a gentle twist from the belly. One more full breath in. And as you exhale and release your twist, counter twist. Right hand inside your thigh, left fingertips behind the back. Without overthinking this, I just want you to plant both hands to that left side. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling and turn all 10 toes to the back of your mat, the long side. Settle into a nice wide-legged forward fold. Shifting the weight forward, softening the bend in the knee. Releasing any leftover tension you no longer need. Then continue to walk the hands all the way over towards that left foot. Bend the right knee. So now that the right knee settles into that triangle position on your mat. So the left foot comes on the outside of the thigh. So you should simply just have the opposite knee up towards the ceiling now. And on the inhalation, sweep the right fingertips towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, turn towards the left. Find a gentle resistance. With each inhalation, get a little bit taller. Exhale, let the left shoulder draw away from the right. Breathe here. Let yourself settle into the twist. Settle into your own breath. Settle into your own space that you've created. And on the exhalation, when you release the twist and take that counter twist, left arm comes inside the thigh. This time we're just going to lean back, untwist the legs and extend the legs wide. For a nice wide-legged forward fold, flex the ankle, flare the toes. For most of us, we're just going to use our fingertips behind our back. Shift the weight forward and lift the heart and settle here. If you want a little bit more, feel free to take the hands to the shin. Maybe even walk the hands forward and fold into that space, but make sure you haven't rounded the back and lost the length. And if you want a little bit more, you take the first two fingers and thumb around the big toe. Lift the chest, hinge at the hips, and let yourself fall into that space. Wherever you are, find your breath. Soften your breath. And when we're ready to inhale, slowly rise up to a seated position. Draw the legs together, bend the knees, plant the feet at the top of your mat. Lift your chest, broaden across your heart. Remember that space we're creating? Opening the heart, making space, releasing tension. Lift the shins parallel to the mat. Pause here, extend through the toes and the fingers if you want. And then lowering onto our back body. Exhale and unroll. Take your time, one vertebrae at a time. Once you arrive all the way onto the back body, slide the heels in towards the buttocks, hands to the side. The heels should touch that longest finger, preparing for our bridge posture. Inhale, lift the hips evenly up towards the ceiling. Interlace your fingers behind your back, keeping your feet firmly planted. Wiggle your hands towards your heels, finding your outer shoulders. Inhale, lift your chin, keep your throat nice and soft. With each inhalation, press the shins forward. Lift the heart up to where the back wall and the roof meet. And take another full breath in here. Keep drawing the knees together. Keep softening that space between your molars. And on the exhalation, when you slowly unroll the vertebrae one at a time, resist the urge to pull the knees in. Heel toe the feet as wide as your mat. Windshield wiper your knees by letting the knees fall to the right. Inhale them back to center. Exhale them towards the left. Take this windshield wiper one more time to each side. And when you arrive back at center, let's cross the right ankle over the left knee. Thread the right arm between the legs and draw that left thigh towards the chest. Inhale, flex your ankles, flare your toes. Exhale, soften the knee towards the chest. Pause here with your breath. Notice if you're holding tension in your shoulders, can you drop them from your ears, let them get heavy into your mat? And then moving right into a twist. Keep the right ankle over the left knee, release your bind, and just let your legs fall all the way over to the left. The sole of that right foot will settle on the mat. Let the right shoulder get heavy in the mat. Take a full exhale here. 3 full, long, even breaths to completely surrender. to whatever natural twist is there, to whatever space is made. And on the inhalation, when you gently engage the core, bring the knees back to center, untwist the legs. Heel toe the feet mat width distance once again, and let the knees fall left and right. With your breath. Next time you come back to center, this time cross the left ankle over the right knee. Thread the left arm between the legs and interlace the fingers around the hamstring. Flex the ankles. Flare the toes. Exhale the shoulders heavy into the mat. With each inhalation, find that awareness by really flexing the ankles, resisting that left elbow into that left thigh. And as you exhale, soften any tension and let that right knee fall in towards the chest. Take another big, beautiful breath here. And on the exhalation, when you release the bind, drop the arms out at shoulder height and let both legs fall over to the right. The sole of the left foot settles on the mat. Left shoulder gets heavy into the mat as you drop the gaze to the left fingertips. And completely surrender. When you're ready to draw that next breath in, gently engage the core. Bring the knees back to center. And this time when you unwind the legs, pull both knees deep in towards the chest. But keep that sacrum seal, the bottom of the tailbone, dropping deep into the mat, tucking the chin, letting the back of the skull get heavy. Take one more full breath in here, feeling the entire spine imprint into your mat. Without losing that imprint, happy baby, slide the hands to the back of the hamstrings, the calves, or maybe you take that yogi grip, first two fingers and thumb once again on the big toes. Inhale that imprint into the spine. Exhale, drop those knees heavy into the armpit. I love ending with this posture because you can stay still, you can rock side to side, you can straighten one leg and then the other, or maybe both. And when you're ready, the soles of the feet touch. The feet settle down to the mat and the arms drop down to the side body. Taking a couple extra breaths in our supine Buddha Konasana, which simply means bound angle on your back. As you tuck the shoulders down the back. Let yourself drop heavy in your mat and then straighten your legs as wide as the mat, surrendering into Shavasana. Our final posture. Big exhale. Let it all go. And as you let yourself settle here, absorbing every yummy physical sensation from your practice without criticism or judgment, where you allow that extra tension to be released. Breathe into all that space you made. Settle here for as long as you like today. Once again, I thank you for joining me. We'll see you again Wednesday at 9. Namaste.